Canada and Hungary, it was a different tempo game, but Canada came away with the win over the home team, Hungary, last night. What do Spain need to do to keep their Olympic hopes alive?
They need a win. They need a win, but like I think this is, you mentioned it, yesterday's games were so different. You know, Spain, if you look at them statistically, shot the ball pretty well. Didn't do a bad job taking care of the ball against probably the quickest defensive team here. Only 8 turnovers in the whole game. Really did take care of the ball against intense pressure. But who knows how good performance that was. The bigs for Spain really did a great job. Gustavo in the first game with them. Carrera had a super game. Laura Hill was just as normal. The trouble for them is that the strength in Canada yesterday was their front line. So the front lines are going to go hard at it against each other because Alexander had a great game yesterday. Achomwa was Achomwa. So like it's a real big battle up front. I don't know how the Spanish backcourt's going to come out of yesterday's game. You know when you have like a real shock to your system? If they return to normal, great, but it's going to be hard for them to get back into rhythm after what Japan did to them yesterday. I think if they do that, I think Canada might have their hands full with a really talented Spanish lineup. But Bridget Colton, who in my opinion is one of the best players in this tournament, just couldn't buy a basket yesterday. Went 0 for 6 before she made her last 2. She's not going to do that again. So there's too many questions to know which way this is going to go. This is going to be one of those, I think, one of those qualification games where it's going to be toe-to-toe for 40 minutes.
You know, I mentioned it, Canada with a win over Spain, they're booking their ticket to Paris. If they lose, you never really know, and you don't want to rely on what someone else does. Obviously, Spain, if they lose, they still possibly have a chance, but again, it's all about getting the win and just, you know, giving yourself that better chance. Canada did not shoot the ball well at all. It wasn't just Carlton who was 0 for 6. They were 0 for 10 as a team for a long time until they finally finished 3 of 15 from three-point range. We'll talk more about these two teams after the playings of the national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Spain. And now, please, standing for the national anthem of Canada.
Well, we'll have the memento gift exchange by the staff and the players, as well as taking a look at the third team on the floor this afternoon, the referees. And in the middle, we have the crew chief, Mr. Liska from Poland, along with Mr. Horzak on the right from Bulgaria, and Mr. Fernandez from Tahiti will be calling this afternoon's game for us. So always an honor for them as well. We talked a little bit before we went live, Mark, and we said Canada kind of rough end of the stick because they played the late game last night, but now they're having to play the early game today. But after watching that game against Japan and the speed and quickness that Japan plays with, it was a very different intensity. Spain must be tired as well, as we see the starting lineup: Casas, Cazorla, Carrera, Conde, and Hill getting the start.
Well, it's the same lineup that started yesterday, and then Gustafsson gives them that big push off the bench. And I think Coach has got some questions to answer, because yesterday when he went through his roster and had a look, got a real quality period of time out of Ortiz at the point, but she then got restricted by foul trouble. She only played 9 minutes yesterday, which I think really hurt them in a game where they really needed some point guard poise. But then, to be fair, we had some questions about Kristina Uvina, and she really stepped up. Yeah, she went 2 for 10, but she rolled back the years with the performance she put out there yesterday. Starting lineup for Canada is exactly, again, the same way. I just hope Field shares the ball. She's a great talent. She shares the ball. Her front line's never going to let her down.
Well, you said it. I mean, front line won't let her down. You have Ajamwa and Alexander, who I thought were absolutely great yesterday for Canada. They were kind of silent attackers in a way. You know, they're never people who are going to have a huge stat line, but Ajamwa, double-double, 15 and 13 yesterday. So Coach LaPena, obviously he's Spanish. He's coached the Spanish national team. He's won medals, an assistant with the Spanish national team. Now working with Canada, do you think there's a little bit of a bad blood rivalry, or no, not really?
I'm not sure it's bad blood, but I'm sure in his situation, he's really going to want to win for Canada first. But like, there's always that extra little spice. Maybe, maybe he might have felt overlooked a little bit with a national team job in Spain. Who knows? And it's the same thing for the Spanish bench. You know, they don't want someone coming from outside who's Spanish getting one over on them. So I think that's a little bit of a sideline. That's something else that'll get talked about, especially by the media. But I'm intrigued about this game, because I think Bridget Carlton's a great player. She was great in the Women's EuroLeague in that short period of time. If she comes off screens open, she's going to have it be in a much better place than she was yesterday, and I think she could be a real X factor on the game. I don't know, but with Spain, their backcourt, their 1, 2, and 3 spots in Women's EuroLeague are some of the best players in that competition. If they become a factor, this could be a really difficult game for Canada. So for me, the inside almost cancels each other out. Can Canada deal with the depth? And they have real depth. 33 points off the bench yesterday, Spain, so they have real depth. Can they deal with that depth? Because LaPena's bench is young, it's exciting, but it's not experienced.
Well, we are just moments away from tip-off, as both starting fives are getting ready for the jump ball. Canada, their starting 5 at least played some very big minutes as well, and you're back on the court less than 24 hours after your last game. Much less than 24 hours.
It means you don't seize up. You're ready to
still
go.
Warm. Good afternoon and welcome to Sopron, Hungary, here for the FIBA Women's Olympic Qualifying Tournament. A ticket on the line for Canada if they can win tonight. They win the jump ball. Achonwa goes right at Hill. Nice hands, causes a turnover. Conde in transition goes baseline. Tough shot, no call, as Carlton comes up with a board. Achonwa left open at the elbow. No good.
Well, Shona, we talked about it. Spain not scoring any points in fast break basketball yesterday against a quick Japan team. First time down, get a reasonable look in transition.
Carrera has a mismatch. He's trying to go inside. as she does finally, and a foul is going to be called on Carleton, I believe, coming from the back to help.
You saw right in the earlier part where from where we're spotted up anyway, Carleton knew she had to go. You know, just to make a little link back into yesterday, if you're a Japan in that environment, Carleton goes early and gambles and says, you're not going in here, I'm going to make you skip it. As soon as it goes in there, it's a foul or two. So it's, and Carrera was so good yesterday at literally taking care of the space that she earned inside. Really great performance by her.
Well, Spain was the first team on the board as Casas forces a turnover and Colley slips. They find Conde, she gives it up, but gets it back, attacks the closeout. Oh, nice finish for her inside the paint.
Alexander just got dragged out and got exposed a little bit. No help on that play either.
Fields picks her dribble up. That's going to go off the foot, so a new shot clock. 14 seconds for Canada.
Canada struggling to get into anything in the half court. Fields has just got to, if she hasn't got something herself, just get herself in a position where she can entry and get the thing moving for them.
Carleton, stop, pops, no good. Who was there for the rebound? No surprise, it was Alexander, not able to finish under the basket though. Cazorla doesn't want to put it up, wants to find the mismatch. They do, nice hands by Fields though. Carleton left open, no good. And Fields is going to be called for the foul. You mentioned it, Carleton playing in EuroLeague this year. She obviously knows the likes of especially Maite Cazorla, number 12, and Maria Conde from Spain, as they were in the same EuroLeague group, where they played for Prague, and Carleton was playing for Győr here in Hungary. Conde drives baseline, help side, way too slow.
Well, Maria Conde was no factor in the game yesterday at all, but first two plays here, really took it strong to the glass, soft touch on the finish. That's a little bit more like we thought we were going to see yesterday.
Well, Carleton thought about it, passes it up, and it's a turnover as Gill goes all the way to the basket and tries to draw the contact instead of maybe just finishing. After two layups, she then decides to shoot a three, but it's no good.
Love to have seen her put it on the floor again. There was no help behind the on-ball defense.
How about this pressure, though? I mean, they have ball pressure, but they're also denying every simple entry pass for Canada, and it's frustrating them already. Colley gets all the way to the hoop, takes the contact, no good. Nice box out by Casas. Now Hill leading the break. And they go inside to her. And nice, I was going to say nice block by Alexander, but no, the referee there on the baseline says she was fouled.
Coach LePena must be thinking timeout here at some, you know, if they don't get something to tick over on the next trip. Because he hasn't had a good, he's had Carleton in transition with a couple of decent looks. And apart from that, he's got nothing. Spain are just dominating what they're trying, just taking them out of what they're trying to run. That's two quick fouls for Alexander. That's not going to help him either. 3 fouls for Canada in the first 3 minutes of the game. Spain have been the aggressor, both ends of the floor. Canada, maybe the timeout might help them right now.
As Laura Hill, who's had an excellent month. The month of January was her month with Salamanca and FIBA Women's EuroLeague. She double digits in scoring, was playing with confidence, and that's carrying over because she had a great game yesterday. And again, this full court pressure. Look, no one there. Who wants it more? Casas. And now a 3-on-2. They get it back to Carrera. Fancy footwork's no good. So Canada got lucky. And it's this full court on-ball pressure. The guards of Canada can't even bring the ball up across the court.
And the other thing is, The first pass offensively is gone. Their back of the head is to the ball. There's no a pass release on it at all.
And another turnover. They almost have as many turnovers as shot attempts, which is going to leave a wide open Casas, and it's good from the corner. And you called it. They got to call a timeout soon, and they do, as Spain has jumped out to an 11-point lead with just over 6 minutes here to play.
I don't think Lepena will panic. It's going to be great to hear this timeout because he's going to calm them down, I hope.
Shaila, Naira, Bridget. We are doing everything that we supposed to know how to do. Okay, if they press a point guard here, we need to run. And Hill is here, just with this, we are in this position. And then we can run motion, or we can run 3, or we can run 4, or whatever you want. Okay? Make them a little bit soft. Okay? Second, in offense, run 3, run 4 for flares. Okay? Run 1 down. 4 carries. Come on. Let's go. 1, 2, 3 now.
I mean, like you heard the tone of the timeout as much as anything else. He wasn't trying to panic. I think, and he ended up saying what they were going to try and run, and I think that's the important thing. Fields has got to get into the, I don't think Fields will have a problem handling the basketball here. Get it down the floor and just get it into what coach just asked to run. And then you can start looking at your own options coming out of what they're running. And not surprisingly, Spain are going to go right at the jugular coming out of the timeout and go up the floor.
I think the bigs might help and give a backcourt screen as well, as Amy here goes right at Carrera. And tough make by her is good.
That's a move. That's a big player move going against real decent defense. They're working hard for everything though.
Spain now. Conde has it. Carrera. No good from 3, and Fields comes up with the rebound. So some substitutions after that timeout for Canada. Amy here, 3-point shot. Almost looked like it went in.
There was just the string, but...
There's a lot of net. Well, Vilaro coming in for Spain. I don't think she even played yesterday, number 13.
She had a DMP yesterday, did not play.
As we have Swartz, the youngin', the teenager. Swartz. Cazorla now penetrates. Hill just uses her physicality, and it's going to be a shot clock violation.
Hey, Swartz
so good defensive possession.
Swartz was great defensively. And Canada, that's their best defensive series because they did not ever get to a disadvantaged position where they got either beat on penetration or an easy post up. You know, hopefully that timeout's calmed them down. Now they've just got to share the basketball.
Swartz obviously coming from that basketball family. Her dad, Shane Swartz, played the Sydney Olympics in 2000 as Carlton pulls up and Conde is called for the foul.
So you've come out of the timeout. Okay, it was a tough shot from Amy here, but she went inside, made a tough one.
Yep.
Defensively, you get a series, then you get a foul, you're on the free throw line, you've started to settle yourself into the game, make the throws, get another stop, and all of a sudden it's not 11-0, it's just a 5-point margin and you're in the game, you're at the game. Carlton was smart there. It wasn't going to be the easiest shot, but she made sure Conde was going to get the contact. No better place than the free throw line to just get a little rhythm. Smart heads-up play. Fields has looked better as well since the timeout. So coaches really got the desired effect out of that timeout.
Canada on the board now with 4 points after those 2 free throws and the layup by Amy here as Vilaro looking for her big. They reverse it though. Conde now, penetration and tough shot, no good. Cathorla, great on-ball defense against Fields. And Canada, they reverse the ball. They look for Swords. Swords now turning the corner. She stops. And shot clock's winding down. If anyone knows it, it's Carlton. She is able to get it off. No good as Hill comes up with a rebound. We talked about the rebounding skills of Alexander. I think Lauda Hill has to be in that conversation as well. Conde takes her time, but that three-point shot's no good. Fields setting it up for Canada. Hard step out as they almost force the turnover, but Amy here has it. She's gonna drive right at Lauda Hill and takes her time, almost a Euro step layup.
I mean, she's obviously still raw, Amy here, right? Regardless of where she's been, college-wise, etc. She's got to show a little bit harder on that release on the pressure. She's just not getting herself visible to Fields. Fields is having to almost just try and locate her when she gets double-teamed.
And an off-ball foul, which I didn't even see, is going against.
You know, when we mentioned about the bench strength of Spain by comparison, Swords is coming in at 18 at the beginning of the field. Just Ulvina and Alba Torrens just check in for Spain. It's like bringing in years of experience, of medals of quality.
Yeah, exactly. Spain gets it in to Ulvina. She wants the screen by Gustafsson. She gets it. Again, Swords with a nice defense, though. As Laura, shake and bake in the key, goes up with a right hand. I'm not sure if that touched the rim, and it didn't, so it's going to be another shot clock violation. So you said it. I mean, offensively, they've done better, but I also think defensively, this group that checked in for Canada, so it was Swords and Amy here before Colley just came in for Fields, have really changed the momentum.
Well, Swords is let's just say exciting, full stop.
Amy here with the offensive rebound, and what a spark she has been. That Hill maybe got a little bit of a contact. This is the kind of fight that you expect. Swords, no good. And Spain come up with a defensive rebound, and they're gonna take their time and run an offense.
Canada got no love from the officials on that play. Amy here got all sorts of contact.
Oh, Swords! Keep talking about her defense. If she comes up with a steal, nice read on the pass. Carlton just slips, or maybe she was tripped. Is somehow able to hold on to it and passes out to Colley, who's, oh, nice little hesitation, baseline and attack, no good. Alexander, though, with the rebound, the score, and the foul.
You know, Sean, this is almost like we came out at the start of the game and Spain literally punched Canada in the face and said, we're ready to beat you. Then great thing for Canada after that timeout. Defensively, they have just stepped up the level. They're still not smooth at the offensive end, but their physicality has been impressive.
Yeah, I felt like they came out a little bit timid, I guess you could say, to begin the game. Well, let's listen into the timeout of Coach Mendez and Spain.
Estamos en cero faltas, no podemos tragarnos estas penetraciones, no podemos tragarnos estos rebotes de ataque con cero faltas, hay que estar mucho más duras ahí, Estamos quedándonos ahora al balón demasiado tiempo esperando situaciones. Pues cuidado con el pase cuando cambian, pero a partir de ahí tratar de cambiarlo de lado para jugar dentro. No hemos jugado ninguna situación en el poste. Pues llegue Raquel, llegue Vega ahora y estamos delante. Poner el balón desde ahí para jugar desde ahí. Que no solo vayan a bloquear. Estamos en cero faltas, no hay canasta fácil. ¿De acuerdo? No hay canasta fácil.
Well, my Spanish is a little rusty, but I do know Coach Mendez said mucho más duras, so you need to be stronger with the rebound and offensively. So let's see how his team will respond coming out of this timeout. As Canada's going to go to the free throw line. Alexander, good free throw shooter, excellent free throw shooter. She was 7 of 8 last night from the free throw line.
I mean, Spain are in the middle of a scoring drought here. They haven't scored for just well over 4 minutes. And haven't really had a good look in that time either. And I know we sound like we're the Swords fan club here, but she has been a difference maker off that bench. Defensively, she's just been unbelievably good.
Vino now running the offense for Spain. She gets it to Torrens. Torrens finds Gustafsson on the pop. Her outside shot is no good. Carlton comes up with a rebound. Carlton going at Villaro. And a late foul call on the layup, I think, is going to go against Villaro.
Yeah, very late call. I'm not sure it's his call, but I think he had to call it because she was ridden all the way across the lane. There was contact all the way through it.
I do remember one of the tournaments you and I have done, Mark, that the referees have said that they are waiting to see the end of the play if they are going to call a shooting foul. I do remember that one time.
I can remember that conversation. And I'm frustrated then, and I'm frustrated now. I mean, if Bridget Carton was fouled in the act of, she's fouled.
Well, Canada, they were down 11-0 with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the quarter. So the last, more or less, so the last 5 minutes, it's been a 10-0 run for Canada as they have climbed back into this game with just over a minute left to play in the quarter. As Canada drops back into a 2-3 zone, Cadetta gets it to Villaro, very good three-point shooter. And Gustafsson's pass is touched by, I think it was Swartz, who runs the baseline, and she earns herself a trip to the free throw line. Canada takes the lead after 9 minutes of play.
And that just underlines everything you were just saying. They showed the zone, Spain stood still, get the deflection, and Swartz is gone. Just great little finish. This will make it a 13-0 run when she knocks this down, but doesn't make it.
Swartz, the 18-year-old, she did play for them at last summer's AmeriCup, so she got some experience with the senior team. She was also there in November when they were at the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament in Colombia. Gustafsson will finally, after 6 minutes, Spain have scored.
If you're Canada, though, it's still Spain settling for jump shots. At the beginning of the game, they were going to the ring, they were posting up. They haven't done that since that La Pena timeout.
Swartz goes at Torrens, slips on the sticker, it seems like. Somehow Alexander comes up with it. It's going to be one last shot for Spain, and I imagine they're going to use as much as the clock as they can. Gustafsson steps back, she can shoot the three. As we've seen in EuroLeague and EuroCup women, and a great way to end the quarter for Gustafsson as she has Spain's last 5 points. And they are leading Canada after 10, 12-16.
16-12 the way we thought we were going to.
No, it was 11-0 and then a 12-0 run for Canada, but 5 points at the end of that quarter for Spain, sees them up 4 at the end of the half. End of the quarter, excuse me. I thought, you know, Canada were a little bit shocked by Spain's aggressive defense to start the game, and they needed to go through some substitutions to feel comfortable. As you saw, the Courtside 1891 app, don't hesitate to go and download that and follow all the games going on all around the world, here in Hungary, China, Belgium, and Brazil of these FIBA Women's Olympic qualifying tournament.
I have to say a little bit that Villar not playing at all. I know she's a good player. Getting half the first quarter. A little bit of surprise in terms of no Ortiz. So.
Well, Casas back in the game along with Cthorla, and Gustafsson, no surprise, stays in there. Torrens, it's a tough shot. She's hit many of those in her career though. And no good, but they come up with a rebound. Cthorla, spin move, baseline. Oh, that would have been a pretty finish. And Carrera, she misses the putback. So missed opportunities there for Spain, as Fields now brings it up for Canada. And her pull-up jump shot is good. And she gets on the scoreboard.
Even though I have issues with it, I'm still all right if she does that, because Spain played no defense on her. They were there, but they played no defense. They gave her an open look for a player of her quality.
Well, look at this, made basket. Canada falling back into a 2-3 zone, but you gotta know where that woman is.
There's too big a seam between the two people at the front and that back line. No one matched up as Gustafsson just popped into the high post area. Got a bump, put a body on her.
Achomwa looking for Carlton. It's not really a mismatch with Torrens though. She's got a little bit of a height advantage, and that pull-up's no good. Casas with the rebound.
She's had to, they chase her on everything, Carlton. They're trying to really make her take bad ones.
Oh, Casas just goes baseline. Achomwa a little late on the help side defense. Fields.
I mean, Torres is just literally face guarding Carlton.
It's almost a box and one.
Yeah.
Fields, tough take, no good. Cthorla, and no help there.
Little deja vu.
That
that's literally what Spain did at the beginning of the game.
Yep.
Were the aggressor, took it strong to the hoop.
Well, they're up 8 now.
Torrens' defense is marginal, should we say, on being a foul, and in the end it was.
Oh, she's going to get called for that off-ball foul, trying to deny any kind of movement by Carlton.
Sorry that you don't get to see that, because the defense that Albert Torrens plays, you know, the veteran, it's not normally, you don't normally ask your veteran to go and chase and be the defensive effort. She really put in a shift, and Carlton just was denied everywhere she went.
Pellington in the game for Canada. As Achomwa handoff to Carlton. Carlton now going at Condé. Oh, finds a cutting Achomwa, and she finishes. So Canada, first 2 points of this quarter.
And that's what Achomwa gives you, the read of what's going on. Beautiful back cut, great pass.
Sorry, not the first 2. Fields hit a jumper earlier. Gustafsson, already knocked down 1 3-pointer. Colley now on Casas. Casas goes right at her, and foul called. I believe it's going to go against Shea Colley, number 2 of Canada.
Only an opinion, this. Oh, we are going to get a replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no.
I'm all right with the final, but if you're going to call that, you have to call the clear out. You have to call the clear out as well.
Yeah.
She cleared out on the penetration.
And I do think there's a couple layups that we've seen down on the other end that haven't been called as well.
And that's the problem that I know both of us have with the let's see what happens in the play. Because if you wait too long, you can't then bring it back. And there's calls that should just be made.
Casas goes 2 of 2, excuse me, from the free throw line. So nice little second quarter start for Carol Casas from Spain. Holly now. Oh! No help defense there on that little almost a horn set.
Well, they literally didn't make her use the screen. Everyone's playing defense for her to use the screen, and on ball, she just blew the other way.
Well, miscommunication there defensively as Gustafsson misses a tough layup. Pellington now wanting to slow it down and running the offense for Canada. She goes inside to Alexander. Off to Colley. Colley finds Carlton. Carlton's shot no good, but they come up with the offensive rebound. And Pellington goes right at Casas. Her reverse layup is no good. Thorla inside to Gustafsson, playing in her second game for Spain. Was she there in November?
With the team, didn't play.
Yes.
As in, I think she was not 100%, but she went and then didn't play.
Well, tough call going against Canada. I thought Gustafsson was going to fall even if she wasn't hit.
And it depends how you judge what Alexander's stance was, whether she was too wide in terms of that stride of leg. But to me, she looked like she played the free foot, as in got both her feet either side of Gustafsson's free foot. But Gustafsson has been exceptional again for Spain off the bench.
Yeah, great job by Gustafsson. 9 points already for her. And I thought she had a little bit of trouble guarding Japan's speed yesterday.
Yep.
But offensively, no problem scoring. Alexander has it on the low block. I think she thought she wanted to pass to Carlton. Carlton didn't see it. Fields is well defended as she airballs it. So nice defensive possession. Aviña now uses a screen, finds Hill. Gets it to Conde. Conde penetration, no good. That's Carrera has the ball ripped from her. And Carlton now, there's a 5-on-3 opportunity. Fields pulls up for a three-point basket, no good. And fight for the offensive rebound goes to Spain. And Coach Victor Lepeña, I think, wants to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, just before the timeout starts, we get a chance to hear that. Both coaches are a little unhappy with the amount of contact that's being allowed. Both teams have an issue. We'll talk about that after the timeout.
Yeah, because we are shooting in the first 6, 7, 10 seconds. They adjust our first options, and then we don't know what to do. Okay, so running motion, we have more options. Okay, we can feed the ball, even in motion. Motion, boom, feed the ball, you know, pass, cut, replay, etc., etc. In defense, we have a problem in the drag screen. Any pick and roll, they are super aggressive, and we don't stop this. So we want to play black with Natalie.
To the middle.
So listen when, listen to Natalie when she calls black. Don't play ice there, okay? Come on.
They're getting a lot of step up, so it's a good opportunity for the blacks on the outside.
And you can see the logic for Coach Lepeña of trying to play more motion-based sets, as that will give them more flexibility, but all 5 guys have to be moving. There's been too many situations where there's been no one becoming up available against the trap. They haven't been able to move the ball with an extra pass because the movement has been it's just not been quick enough and good enough.
Spain now out of that timeout, wanting to run their systems. Get it to Cazorla. She wants to find Carrera. And Cazorla's pull up, no good, but nice offensive rebound by Conde. She gets it back, drives baseline, hesitation, goes reverse. Oh, nice body control.
That's didn't want to make the reverse layup in terms of allowing people to try and block it, just made space and finished beautifully. She's looked a different player today.
Yeah.
So much more positive.
Carlton. Shots no good. Carlton played some big minutes for them yesterday. She's playing big minutes here today. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in.
I think the other thing is she's having to work so hard for everything, and she's getting no help from her teammates to try and give her a little bit of space, bring her off the screen. It's all about she has the ball and Spain are just really playing hard. It's a little bit too, she's having to create too much for herself.
Well, another trip to the free throw line for Spain, who I think have been a lot more aggressive, especially this second quarter. Canada have gone 6 times to the free throw line compared to, well, it's only 8, but it feels like we're always seeing Spain go to the free throw line.
Well, the perception, you're absolutely right, though, because the last few minutes, they've been going to the ring, finishing around the ring, getting action around the free throw line. They have been, like they were at the beginning of the game, so much more direct, so much more aggressive offensively.
Canada's shooting woes continuing to affect them here in Hungary, as I don't think anyone could say that they shot the ball well yesterday. They were 20%, 3 of 15, and then 36% in total, which is very, very low. You need that to be mid to high 40s, right? Here today, they haven't made a 3 yet, and they're 26% from the field.
And the Spanish defense is back where it was in the first 5 minutes. That was a super series. No one got turned at all.
Conde goes baseline. Carrera has the mismatch, takes her time. Hill now goes at Alexander. Nice off-ball movement, but turns the ball over. Field comes up with it. They got to get it over. They do. Spain are just very active. Every time you go to pass, they take a little bit of a risk, but not completely committing. So if the ball does go in, they're back ready to defend.
I know it's not this, but it's almost like, hey, they learned a little bit yesterday, because that's very Japan-like in terms of getting hands in passing lanes, taking risks on the reach. And one of the things people always will say is, adjust to how the game's being officiated. The officials are allowing that at the moment. So until they stop it, go after it.
Fields, she's got 4 seconds. It's a tough shot over Aviña, but it's good. And Canada, they're only trailing 9, where you feel like they should actually be down by a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Koenig getting some minutes here. She didn't play yesterday either, so we've seen Villaro for Spain, Koenig come in. Carrera goes at Amy here. Casas' pull-up shot, no good. And nice rebound by Alexander. Almost thought she might have had a layup, but it doesn't matter. It was almost a pass to Alexander, but just off the rim. So now Spain, they want to talk about it. There's 2 minutes, 18 seconds in the quarter before half, as they are leading by 7.
Mirad el balón en esta última acción, que el tiro iba súper corto. Tenemos que estar colapsando y para eso hay que mirar el balón. Vamos, situaciones sencillas ahora de ataque. 2 lados, cuernos abajo, ¿vale?
Oh, you get the replay of the Alexander putback, and to be fair to Naira Fields, because we do give her a hard time a little bit sometimes when she forces shots. Last couple of times, though, she has managed to play in the space between the help and the on-ball defense. Even though the last shot came up short, she still engaged the defense, had space to pull up, and she seems a little bit more at the pace of the game now coming down the floor. She just needs an earlier entry sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she sometimes holds on to the ball a little bit too much.
If they move the ball and she gets it back, she could be very effective.
Casas uses a screen, drives baseline, and that was a very late call, in my opinion. I think it might have been the right one, but I think it was very late.
But like, so sometimes late calls are necessary. What's the rationale on the late call? Because the contact has already happened. She's already missed it. If she's been fouled, the call's already been made. I don't see the foul personally.
Yeah, from that angle, I definitely saw less of the foul. And I think the foul wasn't called until she was on the floor screaming.
I just, if fouls are fouls. If they are fouls, call a foul.
But right now, Spain are going more aggressive, especially from the guard position. They're attacking the basket. We're not seeing that on the other end, so we don't know if Canada would get the same calls down here if they did that.
Absolutely. And that is the point where play the game how the referees are allowing you to.
Nice hands by Cadetta as she picks off Amy here. Ooh. Might have got away with a little bit of a travel. Then they go inside to the mismatch. Kicks it out. Hill, extra pass to Valero. Valero attacks instead of settling for the three-point shot.
And she's done well. I know I questioned it, but she's done well and has rewarded the faith that coach had in her.
Well, she's had a nice little season
Yep.
at Salamanca in Women's Euro League. She's another one of those veterans, though. She knows what she needs to do in the minutes that she's given, whether it's 2, whether it's 5, whether it's 10. And again, another turnover by Canada, but it has to be because of the great defense.
Yep.
You thought Alexander was open, and then Laura Hill just outworking her defensively, and another miscommunication on that drag screen. We heard Victor LaPena talk about it defensively. So Spain, the last 2 minutes, all quarter, but really the last 2 minutes, have done a great job defensively. Alexander, again, nowhere to go. Colley with a tough make, though. Vigna is gonna take her time. There's about a 2-3 second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Vilaro, baseline, pull up, no good. So Canada with an opportunity, might have got away. And that would have been an unsportsmanlike foul, in my opinion, had that been called. And it was right in front of us, and that's why I say that. Well, it has been an interesting first half, a game of runs, that's for sure. Canada trails Spain 25-36 at halftime.
I mean, we can talk about the unsportsmanlike, which I agree with you. I mean, statistically, Canada again, 33% from 2, 25% from 3, 25 points in a half of basketball at this level is never going to get it done. You know, Spain, the story is Spain's defense, because offensively they only had 36. Their numbers are not off the charts. Apart from Gustafsson, who came in and really just filled it up. But Spain's on-ball defense and their one-pass-away denial has been exceptional. And the referees, yep, they've allowed them to get after the passing lane, but until they stop them doing it, they should carry on. But I've got to agree with you just before we get on to the best plays of that half. There's an unsportsmanlike foul at the end of the half. And they're like, oh, if we let it go, they've got a chance of laying up. No, call the foul. You know,
Yeah.
and then they turned it over, and then you're like, you can't bring it back.
And it would have been 2 free throws plus the ball with, you know, a few seconds left. You could have run something. It possibly could have been a 5-point play.
100%. 100% with you on it. Like making that decision to let that go, no, not in those tonight. I know they don't like the unsportsmanlike foul officials, but
maybe had she not turned it over, but she did turn it over. And I mean, it happened right in front of us, so it's easy for you and I to talk about this. I thought Lauderhill reached in and grabbed her wrist, and that's why she lost the ball.
No debate. No debate. We probably had a better spot than any of the 3 officials where we're sitting. But while we're seeing these highlights of that first half, it's about Spain being the aggressor, both ends of the floor. Yesterday, they had nothing going to the ring unless they really had a defensive breakdown. Conde has been a different level at the offensive end, and Gustafsson was just superb coming in off the bench.
You know, I talked about the aggressor and the free throw shooting in that second quarter. Canada did not go to the free throw line once, as Spain, they went 8 times.
Well, and they've gone 12 for 12 on the game as well.
12 for 12, so yeah. Yeah, are they getting some calls? Yeah, for sure, but I think if Canada was aggressive and trying to provoke fouls down the other end, or not even provoke, just attack the basket, but I think they can't attack the basket because of how good the Spanish defense is. I mean, 25 points, and the shooting woes are continuing, but it's hard to get confidence in your shot when you're having to find good looks against a defense like Spain is putting up right now.
Well, 2 things. One is the Spanish fouls are all on either on ball, on the perimeter, or on the pass where they're trying to get steals. They're not going to be shooting fouls. But the other part of that is that Spain have done such a good job at realizing that Bridget Carlton is going to see the basketball a lot, and she really didn't get a lot of help from her teammates. It's a great half for Spain.
Well, it's halftime. We will be back for third quarter action.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
It's feeling it. Under 5 to shoot. Deep 3. Indeed.
What a game it is and has been. Great pass to Malonga, spinning around Quinones and getting her first bucket in French colors. Wow, pretty nice move for an 18-year-old, a little spin and step back.
He gets back to Van Loo. Guarded closely by Plum, and she banks it in. The deposit.
Thursday night, but the bank is open. He's looking for the foul, really. Could see it.
Bonnet just came up with a block, finds Savely, 5 to shoot. Savely at the foul line, looking to draw a foul. She banked it in anyway.
That's something about Satu Sabali. She's never going to give up.
Beautiful pass. Messerman looked at that. It doesn't have to be the scoring. It could be the pass that leads to the basket. And Messerman connects with Manonga to take it up to a...
And she's getting crunched in some touches. See if she gets some here on this possession. Another block there by Savely. It's going to stay here at 7 to shoot.
Uses a screen screen by Kish. Sammy Hill moves with her feet, though. Oh, good defense, but even better offense. Nice little step through. Scoop layup by Agnes Studer.
Again, that's what we were talking about earlier on. Even late in the clock, they are positive and get shots they want to take.
Alcus a couple of jab steps now attacking. Rejected by Magmacor. She swallowed that basketball.
And Li Yuan just goes for the circus pass to young Li Wei. What a start for China on the timeout.
Get it to Plum. He gets free. He puts it up. And oh! Are they going to count it? Has she made it? They're going to review it. They will go and review this. If they have won on that play, that will be a stunner from Brianna Stewart. That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Well, there you saw some highlights from the first half. We're about 5 minutes away from the third quarter starting. As you see Spain out, already warming up. Canada, don't want to say taking their time because I think they're getting a lot of instructions from Coach Victor Lepeña about what he wants to see or needs to see for the second half. As you see Carol Casas, 9 points, 2 rebounds. You know what's interesting? How good was Leo Rodriguez yesterday for Spain in the second half? She came in, especially that fourth quarter, hadn't played all game. Maybe she got a couple minutes in the third and was really a bright spot for them. I think she had almost 8 points consecutive to push the game against Spain, Japan, get them a little bit closer. And she hasn't yet played today.
No, and it's an interesting one. We have this conversation a lot, don't we, about tournament play. The great thing about national team, if you are Spain, is you know you're going to be deep. Also, from a coaching perspective, it's very difficult to get into a 12-player rotation at times. And, you know, whatever Coach Mendez has decided, the other person obviously is Ortiz, who got time yesterday, started the second half, got into foul trouble, hasn't seen floor time. And, you know, we saw it in the men's World Cup in the summer, the way that some teams that were deep were able to really look at different rotations for games. The difference here is we're only talking about 3 games.
Yeah.
And, you know, and the prize is ultimate. You know, it's like what you need to do is come out of here in the top 3, and then you are going to a long tournament. I just like Rodriguez gave them a real spark off the bench. As we see the numbers for the Canadian team leaders, their issue is they just can't get anything offensively in terms of any rhythm. And again, I think some of that may be okay, they played in November, but they haven't played games of this quality.
Yeah, I know.
And also, they played a poor Hungarian team yesterday where they struggled as well.
Yeah.
And maybe Japan got Spain ready for this one in terms of the pace they made them play at, how sharp they had to be. Carla Alexandra has 5 points again, really doing a solid job. We talked about it yesterday. She's having a great season in France. And it's, you know, those players that are doing well in their domestic and Euro and continental club competitions have really shone out in this, in not only this window, but a lot of the other windows that are going on at the same time. There's no substitute for regular competition at the highest level. Last thing before we get ready for the second half is I can't say enough great things here about Alba Torrens. You know, when you're a veteran on the team, to go in and do what she did, her role on the team, her length defensively, really did make Bridget Carlton's life really tough. And that really was the period of time when they dealt with that little comeback from Canada and re-established control. You know, Alba Torrens, as we said, like played in the 2010 World Cup. It's now 14 years later, and she's still here. And you know, hopefully for Spain and her, she'll see another Olympic Games this summer.
Yep, I mean, it's what you like to see. Alba Torrens obviously playing in Valencia on their EuroLeague team, and she's won championships with Galatasaray, I believe it was, when they won EuroLeague, Ekaterinburg when they won EuroLeague. She won when she was younger with Salamanca, so talk about a storied career, not just with the national team, but also in her professional basketball life. And I just think we know Spain, it's not a do-or-die game for them, but it's an important game if they can get a win here today. Canada, we know if they can win, they've booked their ticket, and it's almost would be a little bit of relief heading into that last game, especially against Japan in 2 days, because that's not going to be an easy task either.
And the thing about this Spanish thing, I mean, they're up by 11. If they have a big win here today, that would almost guarantee them at their spot, because it's going to be hard to see a Hungarian team. They may beat Spain, but they won't beat Spain by a lot. So a big win here that you can see Coach Mendez really pushing for a big win if he's in that place. For me, I would just love to see Bridget Carlton come off at least one screen, or at least something, as opposed to having to work so 0 for 6 from the floor. She is your best offensive threat from the perimeter, most consistent shooter, great passer. She's just having to work so hard to get touches, and then she's having to force it. I think she makes 1 or 2 shots, she'll make the tough ones.
Yeah.
At the minute, she's really having to fight for everything she gets. Someone's got to set a screen. Someone's got to get her open.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I also think you need to see a little bit more inside presence by Canada, as you see the courtside 1891 app. Well, Canada starting the third quarter with the ball here. It is the FIBA Women's Qualification Tournament. And they were forced. Look how far away they're having to catch every single ball as Colley drives baseline. Casas is there. Oh, Carlton, though, comes off the screen. No good. Alexander with the offensive rebound and the putback. That was nice ball movement, but look how far away they were from scoring range.
I mean, that is the thing. If you're under that much pressure, if you make a great move or a strong move on the perimeter, you will get the step ahead, which is what she did that last time. But she caught the ball closer to the halfway line than the three-point line.
Conde inside to Carrera. Hill, shot fake. Tough shot for her, no good. Achonwa with the rebound. And again, can't even make an entry pass. You have Alexander 1 meter behind with ball pressure. Look at this. Well, Fields, no good, gets her own rebound and is able to get the putback to go. So nice little start by Canada. They were down 11-0 to start this game, and they came back in that first quarter. Conde, baseline penetration reverse. Carlton, again, very well defended as spacing is a little off for Canada at the moment. Colley gets it with 5 seconds. She stops, she pops, and it's good. So a great couple minutes to start this third quarter as they are now only down 4.
That's a 7-0 start. That's a tough, everything else has been a reasonable, good-looking shot or an offensive rebound. That's a tough shot by Colley, but
Casas, excuse me, tough make, no good. So they've given up some layups and they've gotten away with misses. Alexander, nowhere to go, goes inside to Achonwa, but that pass is too high, but it'll stay Canada ball. "13 seconds on the baseline. Oh, miscommunication on the screener action. I imagine it was going to be a screen. It wasn't screen the screener, it was screen action. So how about that?
9-0 start. The last play, the last couple of plays summed it up where they chase Carlton, but they get so Carlton focused that other people have to recognize, and that's 2 or 3 times they've got advantage out of that.
De pelear, de correr, de darle ritmo, de estar muy duras. Y hemos salido caminando. Hemos salido caminando. No hay táctica. Lo primero es meterse.
"20 seconds in this third quarter. Really great job by Canada coming out of the half. You know what I like about Kayla Alexander? They don't run a single set for her. And she still has 9 points.
No, it's like, from a coaching perspective, she's always one of those like low maintenance players. You don't need to run anything. She gets hers in all the ways you need people like her to get them. Offensive boards. She will get a single post up if the rotation works for her.
9 points, 7 boards, 4 of those offensive. She's probably going to have another double-double tonight.
It's another day at the office.
Carrera, her shot gets the soft kiss and goes. And Casas with a big defensive play. She gets it back. She looks to attack. She does. And that's going to be a hard foul by Achonwa.
Well, good both ways. Casas took it strong, knew she was going to get fouled, really had to go through the contact. Not the best looking foul from Achonwa. No real attempt at the basketball, but Casas knew she was going to get hit. Canada, that last turnover was just poor. It's just on-ball defense. Just get the ball into the half court. You've been successful the last few trips, and you've dodged the bullet because they've missed both throws.
Well, you mentioned it, Spain, they had a big first half from the free throw line. 12 of 12, I believe it was. Nice cut, and good. Canada's just being a lot more aggressive, and you know, we said, especially in that second quarter, Spain were so aggressive, and that's why they earned trips to the free throw line. Coming out of half, you see a little bit more spark. They're attacking the basket. They're not trying to go away from, you know, the aggressive Spanish defense.
But it's the smarts as well, isn't it? They wait for the defense to make the adjustment to go after it, and then Achonwa cut. And it's the same thing with a Carlton earlier play. Waited for the defense to turn its head, then made the cut, but they are really being much more aggressive. And Well, any thoughts of this being a Spain chance to make this a 20-point game and really run away with it was gone, because Canada have come out, really executed well and matched their physicality. It's good, got a good game right now.
You know, if I'm Canada, I'm trying to get a win today because I don't want to have to see what other teams do or have to try and beat Japan on game day 3. Casas is fouled on the cut.
Hey, but I got to say, yeah, it was a foul. I do think that the foul by Colley was correctly called. The difference in the first half is she wouldn't have even fouled her in the first half. She'd have been off it. They'd got the cut and the easy 2. It's just a more focused start to this third quarter.
Casas de Conde is tipped out of bounds by Carlton. So it's going to stay Spanish ball. They have 8 seconds on the shot clock. They go right inside to Hill. Ooh. That was a nice read. It's a good look. And now Colley gets it. Canada wants to slow down and run their offense. They get it to Fields. Fields, oh, her defender falls. Casas always gives you 110% effort. Every single game I have watched, had the opportunity to play with her professionally, played against her. She's just so competitive. Colley, Alexander, beautiful pass.
Again, the recognition of Spain going after the basketball, the timing of the slip by Alexander was perfection.
Well, we were a little disappointed with Canada in the first half, but it's definitely been a game of runs for both teams. Conde penetrates, floater. Colley comes up with the rebound. Now she's pushing the tempo. She's got numbers. She finds Fields. And this is what I mean. You just need to be more aggressive, and maybe you'll earn yourself to the free throw line. Before, I feel like Canada would have, first half, Canada would have slowed that down and maybe taken a difficult pull-up.
Yeah, and they may possibly have even got to that numerical advantage then, because they all committed to the break. Gave people options, had a chance to go to the ring. Spain do what they've been doing in every game, even if it's only the second game. As soon as they get into a little scenario like this player comes in. Meg Gustafsson in the game again. They're on the wrong end of an 11-point, 12-point turnaround at the start of this third quarter. Canada take the lead, and did we ever that quickly? That's not right. Inside 5 minutes, they've gone from 11 down to 1 to 2 up. Gustafsson checks in. Spain have already taken the one timeout.
I was going to say, Coach Mendez from Spain has already used his timeout. He obviously doesn't want to take another one in the third quarter.
And Swartz is in.
As well as Villaro for Spain. Gustafsson also, she had the big first half, 9 points, I believe it was. Cazorla, that is tough defense, and they force Spain into a 24-second shot violation.
Yeah, momentum is a crazy thing, and all the momentum with Canada, their defense there. Well, however good Spain were defensively, that is matched that. That was a tremendous series.
And Villaro is going to be called
a
little bit too aggressive. I think she hooked her a little bit.
Well,
Le Pena got a warning from the referee, as we heard.
Yeah, but I think Le Pena has a point of what he was trying to make.
Unsportsmanlike, she wasn't even making a play on the ball.
She's on the other side to the ball.
Colley tries to find a Chamwa, but the pass is no good. Cazorla. And that's going to be a moving screen. I was going to be surprised if it was going to go against Swartz, though.
No, I don't think he should have gone against Swartz.
Oh, no, sorry. It is going against Swartz.
Really?
Yeah. I think he...
But the screener just walked down the lane.
Take a look here. Carrera. I don't think that was a call either way.
There's no call.
Oh, wait, sorry, it was on 14?
Kyla Alexander?
Kayla Alexander, I don't think she was even in the situation. Maybe we can try and get a replay for you again.
Coach wants to have a, I think he's going to try and, he can't actually challenge that call.
No.
But he's asking the officials to, well, they've made the coach challenge call. You can challenge a foul.
So what is he going to, I know you can.
So I'm calling the foul holding over there, and then it's active shooting for me.
Of shooting started. When you were saying it's a foul, this is the moment when I see the gather and act of shooting started.
I confirm that when I'm calling the foul, the act of shooting is started.
Okay. So after the review, the ruling on the floor stands. Basket is good and sideline.
I confirm basket is good. Sideline ball, 14 seconds, dribble.
Well, we heard it by the referees. They said the basket is good. And that is a very, very tough call. So that call was actually on Kayla Alexander, if I'm not mistaken.
Holding the roller.
Holding the roller.
That's why they've got the sideline.
And they're saying when he called the foul, the shot was already in being released. So tough call. And that's what happens.
Tougher.
5-point swing off of, no one's perfect. Players aren't perfect, coaches aren't perfect, referees aren't perfect. You just hope that isn't, something that these players are going to hang on to as this game goes on, because they had such a great first few minutes, 6 minutes here in the third quarter. Carlton, no good, gets it off in time, and Alexander's fouled on the rebound.
Well, Natalie Achonwa did an amazing job here on the offensive glass to hold her space. Just phenomenal positioning. She's not leaping as much as she did when she was younger. But that's how you hold your space. It was literally just, didn't even jump, just held her space, grabbed it. Now she's made the first of the two.
Oh, great job there by Natalie Achonwa, going 2 of 2 from the free throw line after getting fouled on an offensive rebound putback. And you just kind of hope that unfortunate sequence down the last time defensively motivates Canada more than anything else.
Yep. Let's just hope we're not talking about it in a one-point game.
Yes. Avinya now inside to Villaro, who's getting some good minutes here in this game after not playing yesterday. Back to Avinya. Avinya now finds Carrera. Carrera goes straight up into a Chamwa. Nice defense. Fields. Up to Kali. Kali to Achamwa. Achamwa. Nice footwork, nice control, but who's there? It's Kayla Alexander with the offensive rebound and putback. I feel like every time we say offensive rebound and putback, we're either talking about Kayla Alexander or Natalie Achamwa.
Just push the replay button on what you said. It's absolutely phenomenal the work they're doing on the glass.
Villaro, no good. Alexander has to have a double-double by now.
Oh, it's a given.
She has 13 points and 9 rebounds.
I think that's the 10th. Is it not ticked over yet?
They get it to Kali. Kali. Her pass is a little bit too high for Achamwa.
And the great thing that Canada have done, yeah, as we've said in commentary, Spain are forcing them to release the entry pass way outside the three-point line, but then they're doing a great job at attacking the space behind the pressure. And Spain's rotation in the second half has been nowhere near as good as the first. And Amy here will be one of those players that can really exploit that because of the quickness she has going to the ring as well.
Yeah, I liked her minutes in the first half. She actually attacked Laura Hill, who's one of the best defenders, I think, in the women's game. Gustafsson finds Villaro. Villaro's three-point shot no good, and a fight for the rebound. Laura Hill. And another offensive rebound for Laura Hill. Talk about the rebounding of Alexander. It was a red jersey who was just as good. She's got the mismatch, passes no good. Carlton was there from the help side, comes up with the steal. Somewhat of a numbers situation. Alexander's got the mismatch, but Amy here says, no, I want to take Gustafsson. How about that footwork?
So quick with that second move. Will attack space.
Casas with the pull-up. Spain got a little bit cold, but they're also settling for outside shots in this quarter.
That's a great point.
Kali now pushes the tempo. Oh, I was gonna say it took a little while, but the foul was called.
No, your last point showed great. They're settling for jump shots. They're living and dying a little bit. Even Gustafsson, who's been knocking down shots earlier in the game. It took them so long to actually look at Laura Hill that the defense had a chance to adjust on the one post-up. That's a handful of shirt.
It's not a huge play on the ball, but it doesn't matter because they're in the bonus, so they're going to go to the free throw line.
I've coached for a long time. I can't remember that coaching drill I said, well, this is how you defend the person in the post. You hold their shirt and pull it. And I think if you don't stop it, players will carry on doing it.
I mean, Villaro, she wanted to foul.
Yeah.
That was obvious. That's evident for those of you who follow basketball. And it was a smart move because it probably would have been an easy 2 points or a possible and one.
Yep. Well, Emma here straight off the bench, straight into 4 points. Real impact.
It's exactly what she did to her first substitution of the game.
It's a 16-point turnaround at the moment in this quarter. It's just been a phenomenal performance by Canada out of the halftime.
Conde goes against Alexander, a little shake and bake. Ooh, one-footed pull-up jumper again. They're settling for outside shots, and you know, I think Conde can make that shot, but it's a difficult shot.
Yeah, and in the first half, she was going to the ring and found ways to get angles.
Especially at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Amy here. She goes right at Hill. No foul. Stood her ground. Had her hands straight up. Cazorla now. She wants to run an offense. 34 seconds in this quarter. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Cazorla. And that is the first basket for Spain in a long time.
At the ring though, right? First time again for a while. They've really attacked a drive lane. Great decision, super finish.
And kick ball. So it is going to stay Canada ball. Shot clock is at 14. And the game clock is at 17. So they got to get the ball in, and they do. You want to take as much time off the clock. You also want to get a good shot, and an offensive foul is going to be called against Naira Fields.
Before we get into this replay, let's have a look at it right now. Is in the charge circle, the feeder in the circle on the contact. But regardless, without Natalie Achonwa, they struggle to get release against pressure.
Yeah.
Oh!
What a block by Carlton!
Oh!
At the buzzer, she just rejects Lauda Hill. So a big defensive possession. It has been an interesting quarter, and if you're a Canada fan, you have to feel pretty good with the way the team has come out and played the last 10 minutes. They are up on Spain, 48-45. There's 10 minutes left.
That's a 23-9 quarter. They scored 25 and a half. They've gone 23 in the third quarter, and it stopped and started with the better defensive effort they made that generated opportunities to run. Statistically, these numbers are almost going to be one of those times to say, it doesn't really matter now what these numbers say. We've got a tough game on our hands. Every shot is going to be really contested. The officials allowing a lot of contact, so you've got to play through that. These best plays of the third quarter are really going to be about this. The work that Canada did, not just in finishing great plays, but outworking Spain in this third quarter, which is what happened to them in the first half. I mean, Collie on this play just sort of finished that great start to the third quarter with a beautiful stroke from the three-point line. Only one of 2 threes they've made. They've only taken 5. They've been the aggressor offensively in this second half so far.
Yeah, and we were talking about it in the second quarter where I felt Spain was a lot more aggressive. They went 8 more times to the free throw line than Canada. You know, Canada maybe thought they were getting fouled, but they weren't being aggressive. They weren't going to the basket, where that's exactly what has flipped between these two teams, where you see Canada, they've gone 8 times for them in that third quarter to the free throw line compared to just 2 times for Spain. And, you know, hats off to their offense because they have struggled offensively, Canada, but in my opinion, to hold a Spanish team with the momentum that they had after the second quarter to only 9 points, they really dug down. They forced them into tough pull-up jump shots.
I mean, the Cazorla layup was the only time they really got to the ring in that third quarter. The one thing, if you're Spain, although Coach Mendez hasn't rotated as much in that third quarter, is that the bench strength might become a factor. Albert Torrens is going to start the final quarter here. There's a lot of experience in that Spanish roster right now, but all the momentum is with the team in white.
Well, there's 10 minutes left and a ticket to the Paris 2024 Olympics on the line, especially for Canada. With a win, they will be booking their flights. Gustafsson, tough layup, nice defense, as Alexander now for sure has a double-double. Double-double machine, Casas. Fields goes at Cazorla. No good, her left-hand layup.
Yeah, 13 and 11 for Alexander. Just
just a casual night.
Yeah, with a quarter to go.
Casas
key minutes of Achonwa on the bench as well.
Takes it at Collie, and that's a tough, big-time shot by Carol Casas.
I do think, Shona, that the team that is the more aggressive.
Oh, how about this? Picks the pocket, and no good. Big-time defensive play. Fields is left alone, but Gustafsson got a touch
she did.
On that shot attempt.
Great reaction to get a piece of it.
Gustafsson's pass. Quick spin move on the baseline by Lauda Hill. Her reverse is no good, and it's going to be a jump ball, and ball is going to Canada.
Well, Achonwa's going to come back, and you got to think she's going to go. She may get one more break. but just makes everything a little bit more settled down for Canada in the half court. There's always a release, and it's normally her.
Achomwa coming off that maternity leave. She did play in November for them. Had her baby Maverick in April. She says her life has just completely changed. She's now responsible for someone else. Casas drives baseline, help side, not there, and a nice start to this quarter for Karel Casas. Ooh.
I hate this play. I love the play if I'm coaching. I hate this play because you get beat there and then you make sure with that action and you hang on. Normally when you hang on, the referees don't like it.
Well, it's a foul. Gonna go against Spain, so Canada ball. You don't have to reset the shot clock because it was early in the shot clock. Swartz now, double team. Ah, good defense by Laura Hill. But Swartz getting back on defense, finds Gustafsson. That's a quick shot, and it is good.
As a spot-up jump shooter, she is pretty special.
Well, Spain retaking the lead here as Alexander just blows by Laura Hill. Maybe a little bit too much pressure on the catch. But that's the way Laura Hill plays.
Yeah.
So a lot of times she'll come up with the steal. Sometimes she might get scored on. Trust me, it averages out in her favor at the end of the day. Torrens, who checked into the game, misses that three-point attempt. And Achomwa, as they get it to Fields. And they're gonna run their offense here. Naira Fields, oh, great hands by Casas. Way to read the play. Cazorla penetrates, and difficult shot. I thought they maybe could have got something a little bit better, but Laura Hill looks tired to me because she actually didn't even cross half that last offensive possession.
Yeah, maybe a better shot, but they still were aggressive with the play, and that's where Spain have changed things up a little bit here at the start of the fourth. They are being aggressive.
Well, they get it to Carlton. Carlton has been well defended all night long. She has not seen the ball go in, but it doesn't matter when you have two bigs like Natalie Achomwa and Kayla Alexander. She's not able to convert the putback, but she's going to go to the free throw line.
Well, we said right at the top of the game that the battle inside, you'd think they'd they'd balance each other out, and they pretty much have. But this last few minutes, the last part of that third quarter, like Alexander and Achomwa, Amir helping that. Those three are just edging that battle, and that's where we are with a 52-51.
And you and I talked at halftime saying, I said, okay, Canada, they're shooting woes, but we need more of a presence from Alexander and Achomwa, and that's exactly what we have gotten in the second half. Achomwa had 2 points at half and 3 rebounds. Kayla had 5 points and 5 rebounds. And now the two of them, Kayla has a double-double as she is at 17 points and 13 rebounds, and Achomwa 9 rebounds and 6 points.
Oh, that's just a shift from both of them. And Amir off the bench has really contributed to that as well.
Gustafsson, ooh, nice shot fake, and drop step baseline. How about that move?
Super move.
She is left-handed though, so I think you need to know that she's gonna expect and want to go back to her left hand.
Yeah. But if you remember, earlier in the game, she made that move and the help was there sooner.
Yep.
They've just gotta be relentless in that effort.
Fields gets it to Carlton. Carlton, who has not seen the light of day in this game, and that shot is no good.
Just needs an easier one, doesn't she?
She really does.
Just needs an easier one.
Laura Hill, shot fake. Finds Ovinia. Ovinia has hit big shots throughout her career. No good that time, but it's going to go off the hands of Naira Fields, so ball will stay, and a new shot clock for Spain.
Well, you said Laura Hill looks a little gassed. Carrera's in. They get even bigger, to Spain, with that front line, and they need to be, because it's neither team shooting the ball that well. It is the battle of the bigs at the moment. You've got to think Carlton's going to start making shots at some point.
What do you think about this, though? Sammy Hill checking in for Canada. She has not played yet in this game, if I'm correct. Nice defense, but no good. Canada can't finish, though. And Alexander, I think she's going to have 20 rebounds by the end of this game.
Oh, she's...
Achonwa fumbles the ball, and Carlton not making it from outside, but what a tough make as Alexander's trying to tell the referees that they need to...
the halfway line circle is very slippy, yeah.
We typically see that in tournaments, the players slipping on the decals sometimes. And that pass, Casas to Torrens, is a little bit too high and goes straight out of bounds. So Canada now, they have a 2-point lead. There's 4.5 minutes left, and here comes the sweeper. Well, Canada's going to call a timeout. It's the first timeout of this second half for them. So, unfortunately, we don't get to hear what he wants to say.
I know, but it's also like, I don't think it's for anything apart from, this is my time to get someone a break, because I've got 3, I've got to use one before the last 2 minutes, obviously. And he just needs a break, because look, he doesn't want to take Achonwa out. He doesn't want to take Alexander out. Let's get that minute on the bench. We've got the basketball. Let's see if we can get a shot here, double the lead, or maybe go to 5. Gives them a little bit of space. Every possession in this last 4 minutes, absolutely crucial. Let's talk about that Bridget Carlton play a moment while they're in this timeout. I was thinking inside, outside, she was in rhythm. She could have shot it. And I'd have still backed her on that one. But she's like, hey, it's not going for me. I got a chance to score the 2. I'll take it. And finished a tough one, to be fair to her. I mean,
that's her first field goal.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
You and I did not think we would be saying that.
No. But the one thing that's continued to work for Spain is that they have chased her all over the floor. The difference in the second half, in particular the bigs, but everybody else has started to take a little bit more responsibility and get reads out of that defense, and they've done a really good job. And Coach Lepenowin must have talked about at the half, as you said, they spent a lot of time in the locker room. They must have talked about how they were going to make the thing different, and they have done that incredibly well, built on the foundation of what Achonwa and Alexander have done on the inside.
Well, Canada now with an opportunity to go up 2 possessions. See what they're going to run out of that timeout. Carlton again heavily defended. She wants an on-ball. She's going to get one. Achonwa slips it, though. A little bit of a reach in. That's a tough shot. But who's there for the offensive rebound? Is Natalie Achonwa. They're going to pull it out. Kali now has it. We have a mismatch. And Avinya draws the offensive foul on Shea Kali. Take a look at this. I don't think that's an offensive foul. I have to be honest. I do not think that is an offensive. Like, Ovinia reached on the play, but worse things have happened, people. Spain now with a chance to tie, and Ovinia's shot is no good. Casas there with the big-time offensive rebound, though. Conde to Avinya. Avinya goes baseline and misses again, and the rebound is tipped to Achonwa. And this game is getting chippy.
Yep.
It's been chippy all game, but you could just see the intensity now. Carlton is going to be fouled by Conde.
See, and if you execute the way she does, Conde will foul her, because if she doesn't foul her, she's down the lane. And that's great by Mira Conde. I can't stop you. I was going to deny it. And then she gets back. See, that if you're going to call the offensive, call that one.
Yes, you have to. And there's a reason why maybe, you know, Canada reacts a little bit, because they're not calling the first one.
Well, and there's a reason the offensive foul happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Well, they called the foul on Conde against Bridget Carlton. So Canada ball, shot clock is at 14. Colley drives baseline. She's got 2 defenders for a little bit. She picks it up, nowhere to go. She's gonna have to find someone. She finds Alexander. Alexander, no good. And it stays white ball. So 0.9 seconds. Obviously, Coach LaPena is not gonna wanna use.
It comes off her thigh. I think the challenge, whether he needs to make the challenge.
Did you see it go off her thigh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so. Whether he needs to challenge at 0.9 on the shot clock, I don't know.
You have to use your challenge. Maybe he doesn't know, or you know, you don't have to use your challenge.
But they were going to give the ball to Canada. Yeah.
Go, go, go.
That 0.9 seconds, it's tough. Well, we'll find out soon who the ball went off.
It's all very good for us to see. We can listen to the officials now.
We have a head coach challenge for the out of bounds. Rolling on the floor is white ball, and we want to check which team caused the.
Well, you heard the explanation, and it is going to stay Canada ball. With this challenge, Canada actually had an opportunity to probably draw up a play as well. So there's some different kinds of advantages to challenges. I do think Lauda Hill got away with a foul on that.
Absolutely got away.
They find Fields. Her shot is off the side of the backboard. So Spain, they come up with a stop. Conde now. Conde looking for a little bit of space, but she's well defended. And now Cazorla. Cazorla is left wide open. Miscommunication. What a big time three by Maita Cazorla as she puts Spain up 1. 2 minutes 30 left in this game. And again, it's that they started the game like this. Their on-ball defense, their passing defense is just spectacular, Spain. Carlton, she's been cold all night long. A lot of front rim shots. You're wondering if she's a little fatigued. I think a lot of it has to do with the defense and how well she has been defended. Obiña, reverse layup is good. So Spain now have a 3-point lead over Canada, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we can't, during the fourth quarters, we can't get into timeouts as we do in the first three. When, in the whole of the second half, when have we seen an unopposed layup for Spain? We haven't. When have we seen an unopposed open three? We haven't. It might be, you've been questioning it the whole time. Will the fatigue set in for Canada? Obviously, there's a factor right now, but there's 2 minutes to go. You're not tired for the last 2 minutes. You will not give up a layup like that, and you will not give up a wide open three, because that was a real breakdown, because she has all day and tomorrow to get her feet set for the three. But Canada will have the basketball coming out of the timeout. They still have a timeout left after this one as well, so they're not in bad shape from that perspective. So Canada just have to reestablish where they were.
Yep.
Achonwa needs to touch it, and they slowed right down. They're relying on Carlton making a tough one, whereas they haven't really given her a chance to get going.
Oh, Carlton, 1 of 13 in this game, 5 points. Played 32 minutes. Alexander has been outstanding. Natalie Achonwa, especially the second half, has done everything this team needs. You know, with the way that Canada in these 2 games have been shooting the 3, you don't want to get down too much. 2 minutes is an enormous amount of playing time.
Oh, yeah.
As it looks like Spain, I think this is probably going to be a fake zone.
Well, they're all over Fields. No,
Yeah,
it's a fake zone, yeah.
Naira Fields, can she tie it? She can't. And a great box out, I think, by Carrera.
Yeah. Do you think the Penna drew that up? Have a look at his body language here. I don't think he drew that up.
A little disappointing. That's the shot they ended up getting. Thorla, hesitation, penetration, no good, but they're going to have a mismatch underneath. Conde, she's had a good game if you compare her game to yesterday. And a reach on the floor is going to go against Colley. I think that was a foul, but I just think it's also happening on the other side of the court.
Again, it's another. Yeah, it's gonna. You would hope it evens itself out. I don't know if it's got time to even itself out, but it's been a great game. Now we've got a great finish to look forward to.
Ovinia.
Oh.
Ovinia.
Big time layup, big time jump shot. She's rolled back the years again.
She has. Naira Fields. Pass is deflected. Conde comes up with the steal. Now Canada, there's no real reason to maybe start fouling. You got to get a stop. Well, Spain, a little bit of momentum the last 3 minutes here of this quarter.
Fields on those penetrations has just got to be so much better at making the pass and not being casual with the pass.
They get it in to Avinia. I agree. Yeah, you know, maybe missed shot. Conde now forces the mismatch. She goes against Achonwa. That one-footed shot. She was off earlier. Fields with the rebound. There's 2 red jerseys around her. So someone is open. And I don't know how they didn't call a foul on that shot attempt. But they didn't, as a few players are slow to get up. I think Achonwa might have hit her head. Maybe we'll get a replay of that take by Fields. I think she was hit on the wrist, and then here you just see Achonwa falling over Alexander.
Yeah, on the elbow on the way up. I mean, I'm all for letting the game play and flow, but...
Well, Canada, they have a ticket on the line for the Paris 2024 Olympics. If they can pull off a win, they will have guaranteed themselves a spot. Spain, they lost yesterday to Japan. A loss here today would guarantee the fact that they would need to win on Sunday against Hungary. There you see the team leaders, Gustafsson, 16 points for Spain, all of those coming off of the bench. So another big offensive performance. For me, it's more Cristina Ovinia and just her leadership defensively, offensively. She's hit a couple big shots late in this game.
I mean, I absolutely agree, but look at the space that she has on the pull-up. Went to the far side of the ring and scored the layup, and they allowed her to get that deep. And you still got to make the shots, which is what she did. But after the Canada timeout we had before, Fields took the early 3, took a tough-looking drive down the lane, which we do think she was fouled on, but they had a numerical advantage, and she just took it into traffic.
Spain are going to take the ball out.
They're going to go the whole 24, the whole length, yeah.
Oh no, they're going to advance it.
No, they're going for the full team. Five up. You could have made it just a two-shot game if you'd have taken the 24-second route.
Canada needs to come up with a quick steal if possible.
Still
they
have
get
a foul
it in
to
easily.
give.
Now you don't want to foul.
No.
And almost come up with a steal, but Conde is left open. Her shot, back iron, fight for the rebound. Oh, who's there? Lauda Hill, the best rebounding post player for Spain for many, many years, comes up with a huge offensive rebound.
1-on-3 on the glass, Laura Hill.
Yeah.
And all she then said, if I hold it, I'm going to get fouled. I'm just going to take care of it. Spain will take their last timeout.
Well, it's going to be tough for Canada. It's not impossible, but it is tough.
Well, they need to steal or foul on the very first pass, because then at least...
You have 13 seconds, don't know what happens.
You know, if they miss
Spain
one,
has no more timeouts.
No. And if they miss one of the throws, it's a two-possession game.
Yeah.
Make both the throws on a foul, then it's pretty much over. But execution down the end of the game after the penalty timeout with 2 minutes to go has really not helped Canada. The bigs didn't touch the ball in those last 2 minutes.
No, and they're the reason that, in my opinion, they're the reason that, you know, they're only trying. Maybe Lauda Hill, if I'm looking who they have out there. They get the ball in, they haven't found, Conde is open, and yeah. I think for me that's an easy call, especially if you see some of the offensive calls that have gone against Canada. So Canada, obviously, Coach LaPena.
Basketball in that period of time.
They didn't touch the basketball a lot before. A lot of it was offensive rebounding, to be honest. But they got the offense going. They were involved in the handoffs. They were involved in the ball screens. You saw Chonwa slip it a few times.
And it was always off of something. You know, a pick that they slipped on, or they got position on a switch.
Yeah, Canada, they have 6 offensive rebounds just in this second half. Well, there's 9.2 seconds. Casas back in, obviously, to play defense. They get it into a Chonwa handoff baseline. Carlton, and does she step out of bounds? Well, we saw a similar play yesterday. And unfortunately, Collie, it says she stepped out of bounds. You and I didn't have the angle to see that.
No. But they had nothing going to the ring in terms of any back screen where they could have just hoped, you know, got an easy one.
Spain with no timeouts. They get the ball to Laura Hill. Aviña now, she's gonna try and take as much time off the court. They turn it over. Ejim throws it up, almost goes in. But unfortunately for Canada, they're gonna have to wait one more day. Spain, they stay alive as they pull off a thriller here in Sopron this afternoon. Spain winning 60 over Canada, 55.
Wow, you got to say, super third quarter by Canada, but so much credit for Spain, the way they steadied it in the fourth, kept Canada to 7 points in the fourth quarter. You know, they showed that experience and that Uvina down the end of the game, getting to the ring, taking shots she wanted. Opportunity missed, perhaps, for Canada. And they're really, unless they get a win over Japan on Sunday, they're going to be relying on Spain to confirm their place. Although, with the points difference, it's going to need a real, I don't think they can not qualify. So they're still in a great spot to go to Paris. But I think they'll believe they've missed an opportunity there the way they led at the end of the third. Alexander was just phenomenal. 17 points and 14 rebounds. Gustafsson again off the bench is giving Spain so much punch.
Especially offensively, yeah.
But Casas and Uvina at the guard spots in that fourth quarter got to the ring and scored. These best plays, it's not going to be plays where you go, oh, this is a massively brilliant player, whatever. They're tough plays. Plays where people make tough moves, take a little contact and finish like Casas did on that one. And it's... I think that explains everything as why Spain are where they are. They found a way to win in a difficult game, used the depth on the bench against a really phenomenal performance by Canada and Alexander in particular on the inside. We worried about would their offensive rebound have been enough? Well, in the end, it wasn't quite enough. It was almost got them over the line. I'm sure we can have people will have lots of conversations about the officiating in terms of what was allowed and not allowed. And maybe I think they need a little bit of a rethink about what is and isn't acceptable contact.
You know, I think I can understand for the Canadian teams and the Canadian fans watching tonight, you might feel like some things definitely went against you today's game. You know, if I looked at the first half, I wouldn't say Canada even deserved to be in the game at the end of the game if we thought they were going to play the same. So, you know, hats off to them to improving. And just like Canada improved from, I think, their game against Hungary yesterday, even though they won handedly, they played much better today. You know, the referees, it's difficult, but you also expect them to improve every game as this goes on, and they'll learn from maybe some mistakes that they also made, just like players and coaches do as well.
Yeah. But you have, I mean, it's a very difficult job. You're making calls in a particular way. The one thing I'd say that Spain continually dealt with better than Canada was the game was being officiated in a particular way, and Spain dealt with that slightly better than Canada did, especially down the end of the game. And again, they got some calls in the third quarter because they involved inside touches, where there were paint touches for Canada more in the third quarter. And Uvina, well, we doubted her a little bit before this tournament started. She'd had some tough weeks in the EuroLeague women. She's had some injury issues, but she was phenomenal.
She was. Wow, what an exciting game. Spain's hopes are still alive. Canada will have to wait. It's going to be a big Sunday, that's for sure. Spain 101, Canada 101. We have Japan and Hungary coming up in an hour or so don't go far. Thanks for joining, Shona and Mark. We'll be back for tonight's action later. Good night.
individual game for you with the double-double, but it wasn't quite enough. How did you